state your full name and spelling last for the record?
My name is Jon Maclean, M-A-C-L-E-A-N.
And how are you employed, sir?
I'm the city manager in Keene, New Hampshire.
And for about how long have you been employed?
I've been employed by the city for approximately 18 years.
And isn't it true that the city of Keene operates under a particular form of government with the city council and city manager, which you yourself?
Yes, it's a mayor, council, manager form of government.
And your general powers and duties as a city manager are laid out by statute and city charter, is that correct?
The statute provides for the form of government. The city charter authorizes the manager for certain responsibilities and duties.
And your specific duties include, as a city manager, that you shall have general supervision of the property and business affairs of the city of Keene, is that right?
That is correct.
And your duties also concern, and specifically so that you shall be charged with the preservation of public peace and health and safety of persons and property in the community, is that right?
That's correct.
And that your duties also include that you see the enforcement of any city ordinances or state laws as they pertain to the city of Keene.
That's correct.
And consistent with your duties as city manager, did you have an occasion on or about September of 2011 or possibly slightly before that to speak with the city of Keene's police department concerning behaviors and conduct and activities of certain people in Center Square?
The police chief spoke to me about the possibility of issuing no trespass, criminal trespass.
And could you just describe that general conversation and what the concerns were that brought him to your office?
We had had a number of issues in Central Park, the Central Square, that had created concern by the city council, by the general public. It had to do with behavioral issues. A report had been issued by the city staff relative to those behavioral issues, and the police chief spoke to me about an additional way of handling those problems.
And what was the remedy to address those concerns?
He asked if I would act in my capacity as city manager to allow for a criminal trespass notice. And I said, because I represented the city in regards to the use of the property, that I would.
And in what situations did you authorize Keene police officers to issue no trespass orders to certain individuals?
He indicated to me that if a person had been arrested in the park for disruptive or unruly behavior dealing with drugs, alcohol, or other activities, that they would be issued a criminal trespass notice.
And you authorized that?
I said, as the representative of the city relative to the property, just as any other property owner would do, or representative of a property owner, that I would authorize that.
And did your authority extend specifically to persons who openly violate city ordinances for the city of Keene?
I would assume it does.
And so you did, in fact, authorize city police officers to issue no trespass orders for that type of behavior?
I did.
Did you ever revoke that authority?
I have not.
And just to clarify, and I believe it's been said, Central Square is city-owned property, is that right?
That's correct.
And to clarify, you did not give authority to city officers to issue no trespass cases for any other city-owned property?
I was not asked to do so, and I have not done so.
Thank you.
Mr. McLean, are you familiar with the delineation between executive, legislative, and judicial authority?
Yes.
Okay. In the city of Keene, who is the chief executive officer?
I am.
What is the legislative body? that
City council.
governs Keene?
City council governs the city.
And what is the judicial authority?
Would be our court system.
Do you, as the chief executive officer of the city of Keene, have any legislative authority over the city of Keene?
I do not.
Do you have any judicial authority over the city?
I do not.
RSA 31:39-c states any town may establish by ordinance adopted by the legislative body a system for the administrative enforcement of violations of any municipal code, ordinance, bylaws, or regulations. To your knowledge, as the legislative authorities in the city of Keene, i.e. the city council, adopted by ordinance a system for the administrative enforcement of violations of any municipal code?
For this particular issue, or?
For any issue.
Well, there is a prescription relative to the, the fines and penalties and things of that nature, yes.
Has the city council adopted an ordinance that specifically authorizes the issuance of these no trespass orders?
They have not.
Are you not aware that that's required by law?
Objection, that's a legal argument.
I'll withdraw the question. Now, sir, you testified, you were, I think it was your testimony, not that of your attorney, referred to Central Square, your authority over Central Square as just as any other, you acted just as any other property owner. Is your relationship as city manager in Central Square the same relationship as I might have in terms of private property?
No. What I was saying, thank you for the question, Counselor. What I was trying to say is that someone has to be the person that you go to, whether the police go to a private property owner or their representative, or the police go to the city manager in the case of the business and property issues of the city. There's a person that you go to. Of course, when the police came to me relative to this issue, my first question would be my authority, and I would typically ask that question relative to the city attorney. And the answers that I received from the city attorney and from the police chief is that I had the authority vested in me through the charter, and that I was acting on behalf of the city relative to the Central Square and the property itself relative to the issuance of a criminal no trespass.
Have you consulted with the city attorney relative to this particular case?
This case? No. This all came before me before there was any case at all.
But this, so you consulted with the city attorney originally?
I ask for the authority. I do, and any time that I act in any fashion in the capacity as city manager for the community, I always want to know what my authority is. I take that very responsibly.
But you've not had an opportunity to re-solicit the city attorney's opinion after the agreement was signed?
Other than acting originally in the fact that I was asked if it would be permissible for the city, for the police department to take this action, that's about it.
So you recognize